Those simple but powerful and profound words are attributed to Goldie Brangman. Before civil rights, before representation in medicine, before opportunity was equal, Goldie Brangman was already making history. Born in 1917, she would go on to become a medical leader, an educator, and a nurse anesthetist whose expertise helped save Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s life in 1958. As a nursing student, I'm drawn to leaders who didn't just succeed in healthcare, but reshaped it. Goldie Brangman did exactly that. Today I will show how her courage, leadership, and expertise transformed nursing, influenced civil rights history, and created opportunities for generations that followed. I'll do this by discussing her early career, her role in saving Dr. King's life, and her lasting legacy as an educator and professional leader. When Goldie Brangman was born, nursing looked very different than it does today. According to research published through ScienceDirect.com, in 1916, only physicians were legally permitted to administer anesthesia. Nurses were excluded from that role entirely. That mattered because anesthesia is not just technical work. It's critical life-sustaining care that requires precision and judgment. Despite these barriers, Brangman graduated from Harlem Hospital School of Nursing in 1943, where she studied anesthesiology through in-house hospital training. At that time, formal CRNA credentialing did not yet exist. According to ScienceDirect.com, certification for nurse anesthetist was not established until 1956. Goldie Brangman was preparing for leadership in a profession that had not yet formally recognized nurses like her. She was training for a future that hadn't been written yet. All of that preparation led to a moment that will alter American history. On December 20th, 1958, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was stabbed in the chest with a letter opener during a book signing in Harlem. The blade was lodged dangerously close to his heart, slicing an artery. Emergency surgery was the only chance he had to survive. According to the Diversity and Nurse Anesthesia mentorship program, healthcare during this era was segregated. Black nurses and anesthetists worked at Harlem Hospital, while white nurse anesthetists worked at Presbyterian Medical Center. The surgical team that cared for Dr. King was an all-black team, including surgeons, nurses. Nurse anesthetist Goldie Brangman was one of them. At the time, there was no mechanical ventilation. The anesthesia machine used was called the Heinrich. And throughout the 3.5-hour surgery, Goldie Brangman manually ventilated Dr. King by hand for the entire procedure. This detail matters because it demonstrates not just her presence in history, but her technical skill, endurance, and responsibility in a life or death moment. According to the Harlem World magazine, first-hand accounts of the surgery emphasized the precision and calm required in the operating room. Dr. King survived and later went on to receive the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. That historic surgery was not the peak of Goldie Brangman's career. In many ways, it was only the beginning of her most influential work. Goldie Brangman served as a program director of the Harlem School of Anesthesia beginning in 1951, holding that position for 36 years. Under her leadership, the school trained nurse anesthetists whose faculty and student cohorts consistently reflected the communities they served. At a time when access to advanced nursing education was limited for Black students, Brangman expanded opportunity through education. Her leadership extended into professional organizations as well. In 1959, she was elected president of New York Association of Nurse Anesthetists. She later served as treasurer of the American Association of Nurse Anesthetists through 1967 to 1969. Finally, from 1973 to 1974, Goldie Brangman was elected president of the American Association of Nurse Anesthetists, becoming the first and only Black nurse anesthetist to hold that position since the organization's founding in 1931, as documented on diversitycrna.org. These roles were not symbolic. They placed her in positions of real influence over education standards, leadership, and the future of nurse anesthesia as a profession. In conclusion, Goldie Brangman overcame systemic barriers in medicine, played a crucial role in saving Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s life, and transformed nurse anesthesia education through decades of leadership. Through courage, excellence, and persistence, she reshaped American nursing and expanded who was allowed to lead within it. On December 20th, 1958, history remembers Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. survived an assassination attempt. But standing behind that survival was a nurse anesthetist who had already spent her life defying limits. Goldie Brangman didn't just witness history, she made it. And there we go.